I was just going to say, I don't know if you've ever made this mistake, but it would suck to reach for the toilet paper and it's been replaced with a Brillo pad.
That's an intro.
Yeah. Or sandpaper.
Or a cheese grater. Ooh. Actually, that's just kinky. Hey, welcome back to our stupid reactions. Ian Ants, I'm Corbin.
Or a mandolin.
And you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all juicy content. Thanks for
so juicy.
Follow us on our personal YouTube channels in the description below.
Oh. Happy birthday.
Today we are doing a video.
What?
This is called How to Sing Gamakas.
Ah, well, back when I was a kid, we used to sing it like this.
That is not Gamakas.
Gamakas.
Hey, I didn't tell you to start yet, you nice lady.
I've never heard that word before.
I think it's part of Rag. I think it's like she's going to be teaching us the basics of. She'll explain it in the video. I don't know much about it. I'm dumb.
Never heard the word before, or at least if I had.
I think it'll be very interesting. So here we go.
We're gonna learn.
Gamakas. This is the backbone of Indian classical music.
Wow.
In fact, it is Gamakas that differentiates our music from the rest of the world. So let's learn a little more about this.
We probably heard about it. Chakraborty
What is a
probably told us about
gamaka?
it.
Probably.
A gamaka is basically a connector between two notes. So instead of singing notes in a plain manner like sa ma ga ma ni da ni pa da ni sa, we add some curves and slides.
Right.
Make it sound like sa ma ga ma ni da ni pa da ni sa.
Yeah.
Now when we do that, it adds a lot more life to the
Me
notes.
too. I just
brings
thought that
out
was
the
Eastern
essence of the raga.
music.
So what are the types of gamakas that you can find?
This is awesome.
Well, Carnatic music recognizes 15 different types of gamakas. But today we're going to look at the 4 most common types that you can easily recognize when you listen to a
I
song.
literally just got chills. I'm so excited about this.
The first type is the sliding gamaka, where you simply slide from one note to another. So instead of singing it plainly like Sama, we slide between the notes like Sama. Or take a descending example. Instead of Sa ni pa, we sing Sa ni pa.
Oh, that's prettier.
Now this slide is called Jaru in Carnatic music. But you can find these slides even very prominently in light music as well. For example, Kannalane. That was a slide. Sometimes an entire line will be full of slides, like Tendral vande teendum bode enna vannamu.
I had no idea this had a name.
Me too.
Did you see how every syllable
style.
was sliding to the next? There were no straight notes at all. So you really need to master this art of sliding from one note to another. The second type of gamaka is in the form of a wave or oscillation. So we take a note and keep oscillating back and forth. Let's take Raga Shankarabharanam for example. Now if we try to sing the notes without any gamakas, it would sound like Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Da Ni Sa.
Do re mi fa sol la ti do.
Now even though we sang the notes of Raga Shankarabharanam, it did not bring out the essence of the raga, right? It sounded more like the Western major scale.
Absolutely.
So in order to bring out the essence, we're going to add some wavy gamakas between the notes. Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Da Ni Sa.
That's way prettier.
Only now it sounded like Raga Shankarabharanam. And this wavy gamaka technique is called kampitam in Carnatic music.
Wow.
The third type of gamaka is based on janta swaras or double notes.
How do you learn that?
So whenever you see the same
study.
swara coming twice, like sa sa,
Whoa.
here the second swara will always get an extra push or force from the
Yeah.
So when we sing Sa sa re re ga ga ma ma. Did you notice how every second swara we gave an extra force from a lower note? And that is a type of gamaka. Take the song for example. Ninnu kori varnam. And finally the last type of gamaka for today, which I call the vibration gamaka, also known as spuritam in Carnatic music. Now spuritam is also based on the concept of janta swaras, where the first swara is plain and the second swara gets an extra push. But in case of spuritam, the notes move so fast that it just sounds like a quick vibration. For example, Kannamuchi enada. Did you notice those two spuritams in that line? You will find this very commonly across songs. And you might need some classical training to get it right.
You think?
Usually, a song will have a combination of all these types of gamakas.
Show us.
So the next time you listen to your favorite song, try to break down each and every syllable of the song and observe how does one syllable move to the next one. Is it through a sliding gamaka, or is it through a wave or a spurita, and so on. So on that note, I'm going to leave you to explore the beautiful world of gamakas. For more such videos, download.
So, we've been doing classical stuff for at least a year and a half, at least, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, I was like, okay, we've seen a lot. And then she just like shattered my entire world. I was like, oh, that stuff that I just thought was their style is actually part of the track.
Right.
Like,
Well,
how do you even study for that? I just thought it's like an inflection.
yeah, no, I remember when we first started to look at classical music, a lot of stupid babies sending messages that were explaining some of the things, and obviously there's no way I can retain it.
Yeah.
But the amount of okay, first of all, just the amount of information that you would need to learn, and then practice it to be able to do it as effortlessly as she can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they would feel the same way if they've never been exposed to Western music, which is very interesting because what my experience has been is that people who come from an Eastern background learn Western music, or at least some of it, whereas most Westerners don't.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's probably easy to do.
Western compared, you know
Like
what
if
is it?
you've learned what Eastern, you're like, there's many, it seems like, much less rules.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's the same notes and you don't have these gamakasas in the middle of them.
Well, that's the thing. We learned this not too long ago, where initially you and I both thought, understandably, if you're ignorant,
It's more improv.
we thought it was like jazz. Just pure improvisation, and everybody's just going to know how many beats per measure, and we'll see at the other end.
There's a lot more rules.
There's a lot more rules. And we talked about that in one of the last ones, where I said it's kind of like the freedom you get from iambic pentameter. I love writing an iambic pentameter because the rules actually release a different kind of creativity for me. Whereas if I'm just free writing, that's one thing. But being constrained to 10 beats per line and only 14 lines, which I break that rule a lot, but at least the having to do the 10 beats per line, it changes the way I think about my phrasing, which is the same thing musically here. But the complexity of vocalization here, Western and European, which is considered the Western foundation, like operatic stuff, I mean, there's a lot they do with power. There's a lot they do with grace notes. There's a lot they do with, vibrato and feeling and expression. But this is transcendently more complex.
Yeah.
Just way more complex. Even the instrumentation that we see that comes out of the East is a far more complex kind of instruments that come out of the East than what we're accustomed to in the West.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's amazing.
That was great video.
That was so great.
Very cool, informative, and just blew our minds that there was just another part of that I thought it was the singer's style.
Right, me too. And the visuals really helped.
Yeah.
Seeing the letters and where she was going and the bends. Yeah, it was excellent. Oh, man.
Man, we're dumb.
We are dumb.
We are very dumb.
But we're learning. We're getting educated.
That was great. She seems like she has a great channel too. So if she has more videos like this that are very informative, please send them our way
Beautiful.
so we can be less stupid.
Yep.
Da din din da din din da da din din da din din da dina di dina dina di dina din tuk dina tuna katta dak tuk dina din din da tuk tuna katta tuk dina.
Lúc mà thật sự